Don't forget to like, subscribe and share the videos.
A question is given followed by statements 1 and 2. What are the unique values of x and y where x and y are distinct natural numbers? Your x by y is odd and your xy is 12. Okay, see, the question is what are the unique values of x and y? What are the unique values of x and y? It's given that your x by y is odd. Okay, see, the question asked, it's not asking you for the answer. It tells whether this question can be answered with both the statements put together or either of the statements, or it can never be answered. That's the key here. Okay, if x by y is odd, you cannot determine what are x and y. Okay, see, assume your x to be 6, your y to be 2. 6 by 2 is 3. It's odd. Okay, take 9 by 3. Again, 9 by 3 is odd. But you cannot tell conclusively what is x and y. So just with first statement, you cannot find the answer. Okay, now we'll go to the second part. Your xy is 12. And both x and y are what? Natural numbers. Okay. 12, how will you write? 1 into 12, 2 into 6, 3 into 4, 4 into 3, 6 into 2, 12 into 1. So these are the ways in which you can write 12. Okay, in this, for which all the case, see again, for if x into y, assume that you are not using statement 1. If you're using just statement 2, your x and y is 12. So which means you have these many possibilities. It can be either your x and y can be 2 and 6. It can be either 3 and 4, or it can be 4 and 3, or it can be 6 and 2, or it can be 1 and 12, or it can be 12 and 1. But if you use the second statement, if you use both statements, if you use x and y is odd, x by y is odd. Okay. See, your 12 by 1 is what? Even. You cannot take that. Your 6 by 2 is what? 3. So you can take this. Your 4 by 3 is not a perfect natural number, so you cannot take this. Your 3 by 4 is again a fraction, you cannot take this. Your 6 into 2, again you cannot take this, because your x is what? 2, and your y, if your y is 6, means what will happen? It's 1 by 3, and it is clearly told it is odd. Your fraction cannot be odd or even. So again, this is not there, and also this is not there. So your x is 6 and your y is 2 can be answered only if you use both statements together. So see, the question can be answered using both the statements together, but cannot be answered using either statement alone. Okay. Again, a similar question. A certain amount was distributed among x, y, and z. The question is who received the least. Okay. So now x received 4/5 of what y and z received together. This is statement 1. And next statement is y received 2/7 of what x plus z received together. So who received least? Okay. Now your y is, your 7y is 2x plus 2z, and here your 5x is 4y plus 4z. So multiply this statement by 2. So you'll have 14y is 4x plus 4z. So assume this to be 1, this to be 2. So if you subtract 2 minus 1, what you will get? X x is equal to 18y. Bye bye. 27. I have to rewrite this. X received 4/5 of y plus 4/5 of z. So which means what? Your 5x is equal to 4y plus 4z. This is statement 1. Next is your y is 27x plus 27z. So your 7y is 2x plus 2z. You like double it, 14y is 4x plus 4z. X is equal to 4y plus 4z. Okay, so now if you subtract these two statements, we'll have 9x is equal to 18y. This is 1, this is 2. You have to do 1 minus 2, you'll get this. So x is what? 2y. Now substitute this here. If your x is 2y, so you'll have 10y is equal to 4y plus 4z in this statement. So now your 6y will be 4z, your z will be 2/3 of y. So now you have x which is 2y, you have y which is y, and you have z which is 2/3 of y. So these are the contributions of each. So now you can find it out only if you use both the statements, and without any one statement you will not be able to solve the answer. So the answer is C. Standalone you cannot answer. Next, the average marks in class are 60. What is the number of students in the class? The highest marks in the class are 70 and 50. highest and lowest are 70 and 50. Exclusion of the highest and the lowest marks from the class does not change the average. See, assume that you have you have 10 students. S1 plus dot 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 plus S10 by 10 is 60. And now it is telling that the highest and lowest, let this be highest and let this be lowest. See, since the sum of these two divided by 2, that is the average of those two, by 2 is again the class average, you will not know how many are there in between. Okay, assume that you have just 3 students in class. So your highest is 70, your lowest is 50. Okay, and now if you have 60 here, it is their class average is again 60 because 70 plus 50 is 120, 120 plus 60 is 180, 180 by 3 is 60. Okay, assume now you have 4. Assume that guy is also got 60, or assume this guy has got 61 and this guy has got 59. Assume there are three more people in between, so you can add as many number of people you want because your first and last number the average is again 60. So the option is you cannot find the number of students in class just with the average and the highest and the lowest mark. So your option is the question cannot be answered even by using both the statements. Okay, next. What, there are 3 distinct prime numbers whose sum is a prime number. 3 distinct prime numbers whose sum is again a prime number. Okay, what are the prime numbers? Just list it down. 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19, 23, 29. Three distinct prime numbers whose sum is again a prime number. Okay. See, what's your one thing you have to note here is if you have 2, see, because it's telling 3 distinct prime numbers. So in that 3 distinct, if you take 2 and if you have the other 2 numbers, see, except for the one, 2 has the one speciality is that it is the only prime even number, even prime number. Okay, so if out of the 3 numbers, say A, B, C, if this is 2, these 2 are anyway odd. Your B and C are definitely odd because it is telling it is distinct. You cannot take 2 everywhere. So your B and C are definitely odd. So odd plus odd is even, and even plus even is definitely even. So definitely it is not going to be a prime number. So you cannot take 2 here. You have to exclude 2. Now if you see, just take just take 11, 5 and 3. If you take 11, 7 and 3, 11 plus 7 is what? 18. Sorry, 11, 5 and 3. If you take 11 plus 5 is 16, 16 plus 3 is 19. That's again a prime number. So that's again a prime number. There are 3 distinct prime numbers. What are those numbers? Their sum is less than 23 and one of the numbers is 5. Okay, can it be more than 23? Oh, can it be more than 23? More than 23 is what? 29. So can you think of getting 29 here somehow? take 13, 11 and 5. 13 plus 7 plus 5 is 29. That's again a prime number, but their sum is not prime number. So if you see, if you take any such possibilities, definitely you'll have 5 in that. So your second statement is right, your first statement need not be right. So your answer is the question can be answered by using one of the statements alone, but it cannot be answered using the other statement. Like 48 is like simple. If x plus y an integer and 2x plus 2y, so can it be answered? Okay. I think this question it's enough if you negate it. See your assume your x to be 0.5 and your y to be 0.5 also. 0.5, what is your x plus y? 1. 1 is an integer, right? But what's your 2x plus y? 2 into 0.5 is 1. 1 plus 2x plus y is, if you substitute x and y as 0.5, 0.5, you'll have 1.5. And similarly, if you substitute in the second statement also, you'll get 1.5. So which means your x plus y is an integer or not, it's not going to be determined by whether your 2x plus y is an integer or an x plus 2 is an integer. So the question cannot be answered by even using both the statements. A question is followed by two statements, 1 and 2. Consider the following statements. Person buys 3 articles P, Q and R for 50 rupees and the price of the article Q is 16. Okay, it's given P plus Q plus R is 50 and the price of Q is 16. So which means your P plus 16 plus Q is 50, which means what? Your P plus Q is 34. Next, the cost of P is not more than that of R. Your cost of P is not more than R. This is the first statement. The cost of R is not more than that of P. When do you think this statement will be right? Your P is not greater than R and your R is also not greater than P is true only when your R and P are same. You can take any value considering this. Sorry, R. So these two will be satisfied only when P is equal to R. If you put P is equal to R, so it will become what? 2R is equal to 34. Your R becomes 17, your P becomes 17, and your Q becomes 16. So what is the price of article P? 17 rupees. It can be answered only when you take both the statements into consideration. Otherwise, assume that you're taking only one statement. The cost of P is not more than that of R, which means your P is less. Okay. So now what? See, this can be 16, 18, 15, 19. So it can be any number of combinations. So if you take only both statements together, you'll be able to answer this question. Sorry. C. But cannot be answered using the either statement alone. You need both statements to solve. Next is PQ. PQ and RS appeared for the test. Has P scored more marks than Q? So like how will you answer this? So you have to know the answer for has P scored more than Q. Okay, so let's take the sum of marks scored by P and Q is equal to sum of marks scored by R and S. This is the first statement. Second is the sum of marks scored by P and S is equal to sum of marks scored by Q and R. So now from this is statement 1, this is statement 2. So if you rearrange, you will have P minus Q is equal to R minus S is statement 3. So compare these two, add 1 plus 2, 1 plus 3, sorry. If you add 1 plus 3, you will have 2P is equal to 2R, which means P is equal to R. Sorry. It's told that your P plus Q is equal to R plus S. And the sum of the marks scored by P and S is more than the marks scored by Q plus R. Okay, now just rearrange. Your P minus Q is greater than R minus S, right? Okay, now if your P plus Q is equal to R minus S, your P minus Q is definitely a number less than P plus Q. So your P minus Q will be less than R plus S. From this statement, what you can do is if P minus Q is greater than R minus S, what you can tell is leave this. If P minus Q itself is greater than R minus S, your P plus Q is also definitely greater than R minus S. So as see, like however you do, you will not be able to arrive at a conclusion. So this is the answer. Because you cannot see, you have only two equations and it can be any number of possibilities. Okay. Okay, this 260-page book, number of fives, it's like simple. You'll have 5, 15, 25, 35, 45, leave out 55 as of now, 65, 75, 85, 95. You're having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You have 9 fives for 1 to 100. Similarly, for 100 to 200, you'll have one more set of 5. And for 200 to 260, you'll have until 50, until 45, you can take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So which is what? 18, 23. You have 23, excluding that 50, that 51, 52, 53 rows are there, no? So excluding that, you have 23. Now we will go to that 50 rows. So you have 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So you have 11 fives between 50 and 59. Similarly, between 150 and 159, you'll have one more 11. Similarly, between 250 and 259, you'll have one more 11. It's nothing but 33. So add these two. I think 56. Yeah, 56 is the right answer. Next is, what is the sum of first 28 terms in the following sequence? This is again a sequence that you have to like interpret. See, first 1, then 1 comma 2, then 1 comma 3 comma 2, then 1 comma 4 comma 3 comma 2, then 1 comma 5 comma 4 comma 3 comma 2. Now the next will be 1 comma 6 comma 5 comma 4 comma 3 comma 2. Next it is 1 comma 7 comma 6 comma 5 comma 4 comma 3 comma 2. So this is the sequence. So now I have to find the sum of the 28 numbers. So when you are getting 28, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. So if you add all these numbers, I think you'll get 84. That's the answer. A person buys 3 articles P, Q, and R for 3,300. If the P cost of P is 25% more than R. The cost of P is 25% more than R is 1.25 times R. And the cost of R is 20% more than Q, which is nothing but 1.2% more than Q. Or you can like take it this way. Like take cost of R as 1.2 Q, and your P is 25% more, right? 25% more is 1.25. What is 1.25 into 1.2? So now what you need to do? You need to add everything. So your P plus Q plus R is 3,300. Your P is 1.5 Q, and your Q is just Q, and your R is 1.2 Q, which is nothing but 3,300. So from this you will get some cost of Q. So from this cost of Q, put that Q here, you get the answer. It's not a perfect one. You'll get some 1337 point something you'll get, but the nearest closer answer is option D. The sum of this is again an interesting question. The sum of 2-digit numbers A, B, and C, D is a 3-digit number 1CE. So you are going to write it as AB plus CD is 1CE. Well, let us AB denote distinct digits. What is the value of A? Okay. See, on the face of it, it will look as if that you cannot determine A. But if you apply a bit of logic, when will the addition of two-digit numbers will give a 3-digit number? When you add these two, and it is giving a 2-digit number, right? See, if you add 5 plus 4, you will have only 9, which means again it will become a 2-digit number. But if you have 5 and 6, you'll have 11. So you'll write 1 here and 1 you will carry it over here. Okay. So now this A plus C should give something here, which is, see, the analogy is, assume you have 56 plus 72. This is 8. This is 12. So 2, 1 you will carry over and you will get this. But what is the sum of these two? The sum of these two is nothing but 12, right? So your A plus C is nothing but the C plus 10. See, because if your C is 2 here, but actually your sum of these two is not 2, it is 2 plus 10 value, because that 10 you have shifted to the other side. Okay, so now what you'll have is you'll have A plus C is C. Okay, can A plus C be C? Which means what will happen, you will see cancel CC on both sides and you will have A equal to 0. But A cannot be 0 because it is said that it is a 2-digit number. If your A is 0, then definitely it will become 0B, which is nothing but, say, something like 07 or 08, which is nothing but a single digit number. So definitely your A can, so this, there is some issue with this statement. Okay, how will you rectify this? So now what you need to do is, now your B plus D is E, right? So definitely there should have been some carry over. Okay, this is not C, this is C plus N. Sorry, like I missed. It is like C plus 10, because your C is like 2 here, but it's not 2, it's 12, so it's C plus 10. Okay, if you cancel C on both sides, you'll get A as 10, but A cannot be 10, because if you put A as 10, it will become a 3-digit number already. But in the question it's given, it is a 2-digit number. So there is some issue with this equation. Okay, that equation is, if your B plus D is again something more than 10, you'll write the digit here and you'll carry with that 1 here, right? So this 1 should be carried here. Then only this equation becomes perfect. Otherwise, this equation will give you the value of A as 10, which is not at all possible. So now your CC will go, your 1 plus A is 10 and your A will be 9. So like this question is like something very like interesting questions to solve. Next question 59. First 7 natural numbers. Or 7 natural numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, what are the 3 possible triplets so that x is greater than? See, definitely you cannot take a number less than 5, because if you take 5 and if you take 5 to 1, take 6 to 1. This is possible because 6 is greater than 4, 4 is greater than 3. Okay, so this is one triplet. Next, take 7. So you cannot take 6, 3. Okay, that you cannot take. Okay, now go to 7. 7, 2, 1 can be taken. 7, 3, 1 can be taken. Because 7 is greater than, what is 3 into 2? 6. 7 is greater than 6 and 6 is greater than 3. So this holds true, and yeah, this holds true and this also holds true. Oh, sorry. 7 is greater than 4 and 4 is greater than 3. This is right. This is also right. Okay, then what set can you take? You can take 5, 2, 1. Because your x is 5, your y is what, 4. Your 5 is greater than 4 and your 4 is greater than 3. So already you have 4 triplets. Okay, the cost of 4 oranges and 6 mangoes, 4 oranges, 6 mangoes and 8 apples is equal to 1 orange, sorry, twice the cost of 1 orange, 2 mangoes and 5 apples. So now you just try to simplify this. So you have 4 orange plus 6 mangoes plus 8 apples is equal to 2 orange plus 4 mangoes plus 10 apples. So if you like take everything together, you'll have 2 orange plus 2 mangoes is equal to 2 apples. So your orange plus mango is apple. This is the conclusion. Okay, now the total cost of 3 oranges. Okay, the total cost of 1 orange and 1 mango is equal to cost of 1 apple. So this is right. So you have arrived at the second statement directly. Okay, we'll go to the first statement. The total cost of 3 oranges plus 5 mangoes plus 9 apples is equal to 4 oranges, 6 mangoes plus 8 apples. Let's try to solve this. Again, take apple that side. So you'll have 9a minus 6a is what a. You'll have 4 orange minus 3 orange is 1 orange. 6 mangoes minus 5 mangoes is 1 mango. So again, you're getting the same. So both statements are right. This is again a good question. The age of P and Q is less than 100 years, but it's more than 10 years. If you interchange the digits of P, you'll get the age of Q. Okay, let age of P be AB. So this, as I already said, you can write as 10A plus 1B. And the age of Q is BA. This is what? 10B plus 1A. What is the difference in their ages? And the sum of their ages is 11 by 6 times the difference. What is the sum of their ages? 1 plus 2. Sum of their ages is what? 11A plus 11B. That is equal to, what is the difference between their ages? Subtract 9A minus 9B. So your 66A plus 66B is equal to 99A minus 99B. Which means your 33A is equal to 155B and your A is 5 times B. So since your A is 5 times B means definitely your B cannot be more than 1, because if you put B as 2, your A is 10. So if you put A as 10, now what will happen? You will get 102, which is not possible here. So your B should definitely be 1. So which means what? So your B is 1 and your A is 5. So your age of P is 51 and your age of Q is 15. Okay. Now see, we did not use this at all. We did not use this statement. Okay. What if Q was greater than P? Q was greater than P means you would have subtracted 2 from 1. Again, you would have arrived at the same answer only. So definitely this is what you can answer. The question can be answered using one of the statements. If you use only this statement alone, you'll be able to answer difference in their ages. Okay, this is like simple. Pradeep becomes either a director or a producer. If he becomes either a director or a producer, what is there? If he is a director, he is not a producer. If he is a producer, he is not a director. If he is a director, he is not a producer. So your P and S will come together. If he is a producer, he is not a director. So Q and R will come together. If A plus B means A minus B, and A minus B means A into B, and A into B means A divided by B, and A divided by B means A plus B, then what is the value? Okay. Plus means minus, right? So it is 10 minus 30. Minus means into, right? Okay. And into means divided by. And divided by means plus. So like you have to apply your BODMAS rule. So first you have to divide. So this will be 2. Then you have to multiply. 30 into 2 is what? So you'll have 10 minus 60 plus 25. So you'll have 35 minus 60 is what? Minus 25. If P means greater than Q and S means not less than. So this is what? 2x is not less than 3y and 3x is equal to 4z because t minus equal, t means equals. So now 9y, what is P? Greater than. So now from these two, okay, if these two are true, whether this implies this or not, that's what you need to find. Okay, now what you need to establish between y and z, but you have to now replace x. So your x is what? 3y by 2. So from this statement, your x is what? 3y by 2. Put x 3y by 2 in this statement. So 3 into 3y by 2 is equal to 4z. So your 9y is equal to 8z. But what is given in the statement? Your 9y is equal to 8z, but it is given that your 9y is greater than 8z. So which means your first statement is wrong. Now go to second statement. Your first statement is wrong. I think you have like understood. See, I have done nothing. I've just interpreted this in terms of this. So if these two are true and whether this is true or not. But if these two are true, both are equal. 9y and 8z are 3z are or whatever. 8z both are equal. They are not greater. Okay, so your first statement is wrong. Now let's go to second statement. The second statement x q 2y means your x is less than 2y and your y is greater than z, which means then your x is not greater than z. Whether this is true or not. See, I think this is false because assume your x to be 5 and your y to be 3. Your 5 is less than 6, right? And okay, just take the case. Assume your x to be 5 and y to be 3. Your first statement is convinced. Now take your z to be 1. Your second statement is also now convinced. But is your x not greater than z? Your 5 is definitely greater than 1, right? So this statement is wrong. Because see, to prove a statement is true, it has to be true for all, for every case that you take. If you want to prove it false, it's enough that if you prove it false for just one statement. So this statement is wrong. So here both statements are wrong. Yeah, again, this is like simple. See, what is ABCD? 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Just multiply everything. What you'll get? You'll get 12. Sorry, 24. So what is FEFGH? Your E is like 5, 6, 7, 8. You multiply everything, you'll get 1680. So similarly for IJKL, you'll get 9 into 10 into 11 into 12. See, what I'm doing is I'm just equating this number, alphabets to their corresponding numbers. That's it. So your A into B into C into D is what? 4 into 3 into 2 into 1 is 24. So EFGH is 1680 means your IJKL is 1180, 11180. Again, this is like simple. If part is written as A top, Nothing. They've written reverse. Your top reverse is what? Top, but they've added A in between. So similarly, your trap is written as apart. So PART, they've written in reverse and they've put A in the front. So similarly, for arena, you have to write ANERA and you have to put A in the front. This AANERA. AANERA is what? D. This, I think you have to find the sequence 3, 14, 39, 84 dash 258. See, this is 1 cube plus 2 into 1. This is 2 cube plus 3 into 2. This is 3 cube plus 4 into 3. This is 4 cube plus 5 into 4. So this should be 5 cube plus 6 into 5. What is your 5 cube is 125. 125 plus 6 into 5 is what? 50. 125 plus, sorry, 30. 125 plus 30 is 155. In some code, letters P, Q, R, S, T represent numbers 4, 5, 10, 12. It is not known which represents which. If Q minus S is 2S and T is equal to R plus S plus 3, what is the value of P plus R minus T? Okay. So in this, if Q minus S is 2S means, then what is Q? 3S. Okay. From this list of numbers, you do not know which one is which. Which number is 3 times the other number? So your 12 is 3 times of 4 and your 15 is 3 times of 5. So if your S is 4, your Q is 12. If your S is 5, your Q is 15. Okay, let's take this case first. So these are the two cases, because otherwise you cannot find any number from the lot. So first case, let's put S is 4 and Q is 15, 12. So if you put it here, you'll have T is equal to R plus S is what? 4 plus 3. So T is equal to R plus 7. See, from this lot, no number is 7 more than the other number. See, 5 is 1 more than 4, 10 is 6 more than 4, 12 is, okay, 12 is like 7 more than 5, right? Okay, 12 is 7 more than 5, but you cannot take 12 because 12 is already taken. And 15 is 10 more than 5, 5 more than 10, 12 more than. So this case is not right. So this case is wrong. Now go to the second case. Take S as 5 and Q as 15. So if you write S as 5 means, so instead of 4, you'll write 5. So your R will be 8. So your T is equal to R plus 8. Okay, from this, which all cases is fine? See, your R can be 4 and your T can be 12. If your R is 4, T is 12 and S is 5, Q is 15 means your P is 10. Okay, so now what is P plus R plus T? P plus R minus T. Your P is 10, your R is 4 and your T is 12. 2. $74. See your the 32 power 5 plus 2 power 27. The 32 is what? 2 power 5. So your 2 power 5 into 5 can be written as what? 2 power 25, right? Yes, 2 power 25. plus 2 power 27. So in this, what is common? Take 2 power 25 common. You'll have 1 plus 2 square, which is nothing but 2 power 25. 1 plus 2 square is 5. So you have 2 power 25 into 5, which means this is definitely divisible by 10, because this 2 power 25, see this you can write it as 2 power 24 into 2 power 1 into 5, right? So multiply these two, you'll have 2 power 24 into 10. So fine. Next, your P is less than Q and your P plus Q is equal to K. What is the smallest value of K that does not determine your P and Q uniquely? Okay, assume your K to be 1. See, it's given P and Q are positive integers, which means your P or Q cannot be 0. So minimum your P and Q must be 1 or 2, and your P must be 1 means your Q is 2 definitely. So if your P and Q are like 1 and 2, 3. So if it's 3 means definitely what? If your K is 3, so the minimum value of K must be 3. Okay. If it is 3 means definitely P is 1, Q is 2. There is, you can determine uniquely, but it is asked that does not determine. Okay, let K be 4. If K is 4, it can be 1 plus 3. It cannot be 2 plus 2, because 2 plus 2 means both P and Q will be same. So for this given statement, either P must be 1 and Q must be 3. Again, it's conclusive. Okay. Now go to 5. It can be 1 plus 4 or it can be 2 plus 3. In both cases, 1 is less than 4, 2 is less than 3, and the sum is 5. So for minimum 5, you will not be able to determine the values uniquely. This is again a simple question. The statement: a person walks straight from his home 100 meters and then turns left and walks 100 meters and again turns left and walks 300 meters and then turns right and walks 100 meters. So this is his office O and this is his home. In which direction does he walk initially from his house if his office is exactly in northeast direction? Okay, this is northeast, it seems. His office is in northeast. So if you have to go like this: north, east, south, west, northeast, southeast, southwest, northwest. So if this is northeast means what is this direction? Diagonally opposite, southwest. This is southeast and this is northwest. Northwest, southeast, southwest, northwest. Okay, but see, his home is like this, diagonal. So northeast, what lies northeast diagonal in this direction? So now northeast, between northeast and northwest, what you have? Sorry, between northeast and northeast you have, so this is north. Between northeast and southeast you have east. This is south, this is west. So in this direction you have, the 76 option is C. South. This direction of he walks initially. So next is a person walks 100-meter westward, NES, 100-meter westward, and then turns left and walks 100 meters, and then takes a 225-degree clockwise. So see, if you start from here, 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 so this will be left for that man and right for this, right for him. And for him, clockwise in 225 degrees. From here, if he turns like this is 180-degree, and from here plus 45. So this is 225. In which direction is he walking now? This is what? Northeast. Simple. Okay. A statement is given followed by two conclusions numbered blah blah. India is the world's largest producer of milk is the statement. Okay. Does that mean that India is the world's largest exporter of milk? Need not be. This is like some GS kind of thing. It's not a factual thing, but if you apply your knowledge also, you'll be getting. But you have to apply your practical thing here. Just because you are the largest producer of milk, that doesn't mean that you're the largest exporter, and that does not mean that you don't import. So both statements are not right. A question is given followed by two statements. Okay, the first statement tells that your m plus n is greater than mn, and then tells that the product of mn is 24. Okay, assume that you are using only the second statement. So what is your mn is 24? It can be 2, 12, 3, 8, 4, 6, 6, 4, 8, 3, 12, 2, 1, 24, 24, 1. Okay, now in which of the following, what are the values of m and n, where m and n are natural numbers? Okay, see, if the product of m and n is natural number, see, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cases. So your m and n can have any value in between 9. Okay, but if you state this statement, your m plus n is greater than mn. For which all cases, see, your m plus n is what? 25 here. Is 25 greater than 24? Yes. And definitely m is greater than n. Your 24 is greater than 1. Now, if you go to this, 14 is not greater than 24. So this is ruled out. Similarly, 11 is not greater than 16. This is also ruled out. Your 4 and 6. This is also ruled out. 6 and 4 is ruled out. This is ruled out. This is also ruled out. So you need both statements together to find what are the values of m and n. Because without the first statement, you will have a lot of values. So the question can be answered by using both the statements, but it cannot be answered using the either statement alone. So it's C. I think this is a very simple question. What's the time required to download the software, the total size, and the rate? I think you need both. You need both. So you need both to answer, but it can see if you have only the rate, but if you do not know how much is the total size, again you do not know what's the time. Because for time you need both distance as well as the rate. So it's C again. I think we have come to the fag end of the discussion. So CSAT this year was not very difficult, but not as difficult as last year. But still, it had some nuances which had to be seen. I think most of the answers are like accurate. not most, almost all answers are accurate. So you can check your key with the answers that I've given and the explanation that I've given. So apart from this, you have comprehension, for which I think that might be a game changer. But barring that, if you're like okay with this, I think it should be like fine. And all the best for your